Good morning, my beautiful coffee beans. It is Saturday morning, bright and early, and we're kicking it off in the state of Florida.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty crime stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.
Central Florida man impersonates a lawyer at a traffic stop. A Palm Bay man showed up at a traffic stop in a suit, told deputies he was the driver's attorney, and tried to argue the stop on her behalf. But he isn't a lawyer at all, according to Brevard County deputies. Deputies say Derek Zachary Chaffis arrived at the stop, identified himself as the woman's lawyer, spoke like an attorney, tried to negotiate with the officer, which raised enough suspicion that they checked and found he wasn't licensed to practice law in Florida. He was arrested and charged with practicing law without a license and obstruction by a disguised person, which in Florida covers obstructing law enforcement while pretending to be someone you're not. So this guy decided to help a friend, wound up in the paddy wagon himself. So I guess just desserts and all. No good deed goes unpunished. I don't know. A few other things that we could probably say. Florida. You guys don't know, Bullhorn Betty is born and raised in Florida. We have Florida teens arrested over a lawnmower through targeted social media, and it was a stunt. 2 18-year-olds in Ocala, Florida were arrested after allegedly turning Target and Culver's into a stage for pranks and videos. Folks, stop this. You make social media look like idiots, including driving a lawnmower through the front doors of a Target, while the second teen filmed for social media. Police say these teens first went into Culver's with a leaf blower, blasting inside the restaurant and creating a safety hazard for staff and customers. The next day, officer says he drove a lawnmower straight through the entrance of Target while his friend Luke recorded the stunt. They were both booked for criminal mischief and disorderly conduct, while one was charged with disorderly conduct for filming and aiding the stunt. PD publicly warned these crimes are not harmless videos. Listen, I am on social media. I've been working social media for 5 years. We have limits to what we can do for content. You can go outside and make your content. Terrorizing a community for content is bullshit. And it's obviously criminal. Like, where's the parents? Did the parents not see their content? Or did the parents just not really care? Why aren't the parents being held accountable? When you have children, you're 100% responsible for them. Period. The Florida lobster business is a huge industry here in Florida, and the industry generates anywhere between $50 and $75 million annually, making it one of the largest commercial fisheries in the state of Florida. While tourists flock here to our coast to spot and eat them, 70 to 80% of our harvest is actually exported to Asia due to high international demand. And because this is a multi-million-dollar industry, this next story is kind of funny, but not. It's more stupidity in my state here in the state of Florida. So our next story, a Florida man jailed a month over hidden lobster tails. In another Florida man meets wildlife law story, a Florida fisherman was sentenced to months in jail for lobster violations after officers discovered concealed lobster tails on board and determined that he and another crew member had hidden them to evade bag and limit size. According to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, Alvarez Perez and another mate admitted they had concealed the lobster tails on the vessel. They were arrested and taken to jail, and Perez ultimately received a 30-day sentence for the violation. This is being upheld as an example that commercial or charter operations who deliberately hide out of compliance catch are going to get real jail time, not just fines. And of course, the next case is a little bit more heartfelt, a little heartbreaking, more common of cases that we see on the Bullhorn Betty shows and the Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories channel. This just happened a few days ago, but one that we have not talked about. So I'm just going to read the article because of the sensitivity of this topic and want to make sure, we're going to start getting into more adult conversations. So if you have little ones that were listening in, please have them go and play with their friends. I know a lot of people are on summer break, so we do have a tendency of having little ears on our program. So just be cautious that we do talk about some really adult conversations and topics. And while they're not classified as 18 and up and they are for entertainment, they're not for younger ears. We like an 18-year-old and older audience that is here. So please just, be cautious. I'm not going to tell you how to parent, but please be cautious about what your children do consume. We do try to protect them as much as humanly possible. This next story is out of Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office released new details in the murder-suicide of a mother, father, and their two daughters found inside a Dorrell home on Tuesday night. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office posted an update Thursday afternoon about the incident in Doral Isles neighborhood near Southwest 111th Court and 72nd Terrace. Preliminary information from the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit revealed that 42-year-old Ryan Charles Whiten stabbed 46-year-old Melanie Lauren Heyer and their 11-year-old daughter and their 8-year-old daughter to death before taking his own life. The investigators also revealed that Whiten was the girl's biological father and was co-parenting with Heyer. At approximately 7:44 p.m. Tuesday night, Doral police were called to the home to perform a welfare check. According to the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, when officers entered the home, they found 4 people unresponsive. Members of the Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue arrived at the scene and pronounced all of them dead at the scene. Dorrell community was left stunned after the tragedy, especially those that knew Heyer. Mayor Fraga says she knew Heyer and her daughters. She was a light of sunshine and was always eager to help at school and to be involved as a mom. So when I got the news, it definitely hit close to home. Melanie is an extremely outgoing person, extremely friendly, extremely meticulous when it came to her work, Willard Shepard said. Shepard said he met Heyer 20 years ago when she was his realtor and says they've been friends ever since. Shepard said he was stunned to hear what had happened. It's just heartbreaking across the board that the entire family is physically not with us anymore, said Shepard. The 2 girls were students at downtown Doral Charter School who released a statement to CBS News Miami about the children's death. It reads, Our community is mourning the loss of two of our beloved students. Our heartfelt sympathies are with the families, friends, faculty, and staff at our school. These students will be deeply missed. The school then says they will help students and staff with their grief, saying, to support our students and staff, the school has arranged to have grief counselors on campus and will continue to provide support as needed. We encourage parents to talk openly with their children and closely monitor their well-being. Parents with concerns or in need of additional support should contact the school. CBS News Miami also spoke with Gloria Calades. So as you can see, even living in good areas with good people doesn't stop things from happening. This is a situation where two adults that were divorced and trying to co-parent were living under the same roof. And I can tell you from my experience, that is not a good practice. Whenever you have left somebody and you are divorced, in order to keep your family straight, it's my opinion, you need to have your own spaces. Because when you start dating and other things, it's very hurtful for a person that you spent some time with and you were married with or you had children with, and seeing them, it takes a certain mindset, and not everybody has that type of mindset to do that. So please be cognizant of what you're really putting your children through to try to co-parent under the same roof when you're no longer together. Now we kind of move over to my backyard, Sarasota. A man is accused of a quadruple homicide in Sarasota and 2 in Fort Lauderdale before taking his own life. And again, another hard case to discuss. In Sarasota, Florida, a man who investigators say killed 4 people in Sarasota is also linked to a double homicide in Fort Lauderdale, according to the Sarasota County Sheriff. What we know, investigators said shortly before 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday, a neighbor called 911 reported a man had been shot at a home in Alberlia neighborhood near Proctor and McIntosh Road. I don't know. I heard a loud boom earlier and thought somebody dropped something. And then I just walked outside and my neighborhood, Tony, is lying on the ground. His house is open and there's blood all over his stomach. The unidentified neighbor called 911. When the deputies arrived, they found the neighbor performing CPR on the man in the front yard, identified as the homeowner, 61 Anatoly Lofi. Deputies moved him to a different location, and crews with the Sarasota County Fire Department took over. He was pronounced dead a short while later. The neighbors told deputies that the man's wife may be inside the home. The deputies went inside the home because they feared for the victim's wife, and that's where they found the bodies of 2 men and 2 women. While trying to identify the victims and potential suspects, detectives said they got information from Fort Lauderdale Police Department about a double homicide they believe may be connected to the Sarasota quadruple murder. Police gave SCSO the suspect's name of 51-year-old Russell Cott and Russell Cott's vehicle information, and said it had been caught on camera traveling northbound through Punta Gorda before the Sarasota homicide. Working with Abilene HOA representatives and neighborhoods, detectives got video of the suspect's vehicle entering the neighborhood at 11:01 a.m. Moments later, investigators said the sound of gunfire was captured on a neighbor's Ring camera. Less than 40 minutes later, the man who was found on the front lawn was seen entering the neighborhood in his vehicle, according to SCSO. Deputies say LaFay went up to the door and was shot. There was blood everywhere. I don't see any weapons, said the neighbor in the 911 call. Afterwards, no people were seen entering or leaving the home. According to the investigators, all victims have been identified, and the suspect, Cott, was among those that were found dead inside the home. Wow. Pretty intense. That's pretty intense. Unbelievable. Lastly, just kind of a roundabout, and this is going to go fairly fast. This is just some updated news from around the state of Florida. Tampa police had a fatal hit and run, which is now classified as a homicide, when a 32-year-old security guard died after being struck on June 7th. The suspect, Jose Valdez, is at large. Body recovered, suspect name, and foul play is suspected. In Hillsborough, we have a missing teen, Jaylene Pellegrino, a 17-year-old female, Tampa. Her case number is case number 26585845. This is a minor missing person. Also, in Hillsborough County, another missing person, Brian Key, male left resident, did not return. They are not taking this case seriously. So if this is going to be upgraded or if something is seriously wrong with Brian, we will not know. If you know who Brian Key is, please reach out to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department at your earliest convenience. Now we move over to Pinellas County, and there has been a murder arrest. Robert Leon Worthington. He is arrested for a shooting, a fatal shooting of 44-year-old Clearwater man at the Pinellas Park business on June 6th. He was arrested on June 7th. He is now charged with first-degree murder. Foul play is suspected, and the suspect name has been officially released. And we end the roundup in Sarasota, where Nicholas Kovakis, a 34-year-old, is charged with murdering his son and his ex at 4700 of Modern Court in front of family. The suspect is named, the bodies have been recovered, and the man has been arrested and thrown in jail. So that is our roundup of our breaking news so far. Some of this stuff is a little dated, some of it isn't. Let me know your thoughts. If you'd like me to expand on any of these cases, please let me know in the comments below or send me an email to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Thank you and have a great day.